That's too rich for my blood.
Okay, Chris, you have. All right, good afternoon. It is about 10 minutes after 1 o'clock, and we had to interrupt your program because of a tornado warning due to a very strong storm that is moving towards the metro. Now, the tornado warning itself, this is encompassing parts of Harrison County and Floyd County. Now, the latest information that we have of this storm is that it is moving, this is going to be until 1:45, and it is radar indicated rotation. It is moving east at 25 miles per hour, and it was located near Corden. Now, notice in this red flashing box, that is your tornado warning. Behind it, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. So these are kind of overlapping at this point. The strongest part of the storm is currently just west of Lanesville right now, and I want to try and put a track on this so that you can see where it's headed, and it is moving about 25 miles due east. So this means for folks who live in this red blinking box, I need you to get down into a safe place. If you have a basement, that is a great place to be. Get away from all windows. If you don't have a basement, a closet would be a good idea. Anywhere away from windows, the most interior part of your home, that is going to be the safest place for you if you do not have a basement. Now, I want to show you in this blinking red box what we're watching, that strongest part of the storm. It's going to be headed towards Lanesville in about 6 minutes. Buchanan, about 1:30. This is going to be impacting you guys. In Georgetown, it is on its way to you here in just moments. Floyd's Knobs, this is also encompassing you guys as well. So I'm going to need you to all head towards your safe space until the storm passes. Now, this tornado warning went into effect just a few minutes ago, and we're also going to be watching this until about 1:45. So the National Weather Service did trigger this warning because of radar indicated rotation. And so because of this strong storm, I'm going to need everyone who lives in this red box to head to a safe space. Now, I also wanted to zoom in and show you some other spots. There's a lot going on the screen right now, so I'm going to try and clear this out for you just so you can see. We've got some intense lightning in this storm and also some incredibly heavy downpours with it. And notice in that yellow box, if you're just joining us now, that is the severe thunderstorm warning. And this is also part of the warning. Now, the red box, that is a tornado warning, and this is going to go until 1:45. It's just to the outside of Jefferson County. So it's not crossing into the metro just yet, but it does encompass part of Harrison County as well as Floyd County. Now, I want to clear this out because we do have a lot going on here. And this is all part of a line of storms that's been inching closer and closer to us over the last couple of hours, and it just got a little bit too intense. Some of damaging wind gusts from that earlier severe thunderstorm warning in the yellow box. Now, that was showing winds up to 60 miles per hour. At this point, there might have been some small hail in it. It's the rotation, though, that we are concerned with in this tornado warning. And right now, it looks like the most intense part of the storm is now pushing past Corden towards Lanesville. So if you're just joining us, I want you to find a safe space if you live within that red blinking box. And this is going to be in effect until 1:45. So we got another half an hour or so of this watching it. And it's for Harrison County and South Central Indiana and Floyd County. So we're watching this carefully, and at this point, we don't have any damage that's come in. We're just monitoring our chat with the National Weather Service to see if anything else is popping up. But right now, this is all part of a strong line of storms that has been moving towards us throughout the afternoon. Now, this yellow color over here, now that's just indicating that we have a thunderstorm watch, and this is going to be in effect until 7 o'clock. But this particular storm that's being warned, the tornado warning, this is going to be going until 1:45. And the strength of this, we're going to be watching this closely because this is going to continue off to the east. And notice off to the east is the metro and parts of Clark County. So we have to watch this very closely. And I do have our meteorologist, Daniel Johnson, standing by, and eventually we're going to talk to him if he happens to see any damage, if any anything related to this storm, he's going to let us know. At this point, we haven't heard anything. We haven't seen anything on social media. Right now, we're just monitoring this tornado warning, and it does look like they expired the severe thunderstorm warning. So at this point, here's our one storm that we are watching very closely, and right now it's impacting Lanesville and Georgetown. Guys, if this is you, and you're watching me on TV in your living room, I need you to trust me and just go to your basement and wait until the storm passes, and then you can come back out. If you don't have a basement, head towards the most interior part of your home, away from windows, a bathroom, a closet. That might be a good idea for you. But this is going to be going on until about 1:45. So we'll watch the storm carefully. If you live in Georgetown, if you live in Lanesville, find your safe space. Bring your phone with you if you need it, but either way, by 1:45, this should be passing you, and it'll be safe to come back out. Floyd's Knobs, this is also including you. So within the next 10 minutes or so, this is going to be heading towards you. So it's best for you to go to your basement, to a safe place. Zooming out, there is some intense lightning in some of these storms. So even if you aren't in this blinking red box, if you're in Greenville, if you're in Borden, Starlight, stay away from windows. Some winds could be gusting upwards of 45 to 50 miles per hour outside of this warned storm, and that can cause some major damage. It can knock over trees and hit windows, so just be very, very careful if you are going to be, if you're in this part of the storm. Once again, if you're just joining us, we do have a tornado warning for parts of Harrison County as well as Floyd County. And this storm is moving east at 25 miles per hour. I want to put another track on this. I'm just going to watch for the most intense part of the storm towards the end of this warning that gets us into western edge of the metro. And at this point, New Albany, this is going to be hitting you around 1:40, and this warning goes until 1:45. It's important for you, your family, to get to a safe place. Even if you don't live in this red blinking box or within the red blinking box, it's a good idea for you to take shelter, just because this is a very intense storm. Zooming out, you can see this line in Greenville up towards Starlight. It's going to be headed towards Sellersburg eventually. So we're going to be watching this closely and making sure that everyone stays safe. But most importantly, if you live in within this red blinking polygon, it is best for you to find a safe place. You don't need me. You just need to go to your basement or go to the most interior place of your home and away from windows until the storm passes. And again, this is going to be warned until 1:45. So I'm going to stay on with you until this warning ends. And we're going to be watching the rest of the storm as well. As I zoom out, I just want to show you this line. It's got some intense lightning, some heavy downpours, those reds, those yellows, torrential downpours over Brandenburg right now. But at this point, the only warned storm that we have is the tornado warning for Harrison County and Floyd County. Let me clear this out real quick, and I want to show you as we're zooming in a little bit more. Crandall, Corydon Junction. Now this storm has already passed you. Now you're just stuck in the rain. Corydon, it's going to be okay. Looks like there's no more lightning. All of this intense part of the storm is currently over Georgetown and Lanesville, and it's going to be pushing towards Floyd's Knobs here in just a few minutes. New Albany might be dry over you right now, but get to your safe place. This is going to be headed straight towards you within the next 10-15 minutes. So this is a tornado warning. This came in a little bit after 1 o'clock, maybe about 1:10, 1:12, and this is going to go until 1:45. At this point, there was some radar indicated rotation. We don't have anyone on the ground that has said they have found a funnel cloud or a tornado, but it was radar indicated rotation. So it's just more important to be safe than sorry. So folks in Georgetown, it is over you right now, and it's headed towards New Albany and Floyd's Knobs, Lanesville. You are in it right now. It's going to continue to push past you. Just make sure you are staying in your safe place until 1:45 just to be safe. Zooming out, I want to show you there's other storms that we are watching. It's all part of this one long line that's been moving towards us the last few hours. Over Brandenburg right now. Intense lightning, some torrential downpours. Some of these storms is very similar to what we had yesterday, just dropping insane amounts of rain in a short period of time. So flash flood warnings could be triggered. That happened yesterday. At this point, the only warning that we are watching is this tornado warning, and it's currently over Lanesville And over Georgetown, want to zoom in a little bit more, Floyd's Knobs, it is right behind you. So head towards your safe place if you live in the Knobs. Same deal in New Albany. It's not there yet, but it will be shortly. This storm is moving about 25 miles per hour straight to the east, and it's going to be headed towards the metro too. So we're watching this. They have not extended the warning into the metro yet, but we are obviously keeping a very close eye on this. Lanesville, it's almost through, but stay in your safe space. Georgetown, same deal. Greenville, you are not in this warning, but this storm is very potent over you. Notice there's a lot of lightning. Same deal over Starlight. Borden, things are starting to wind down a little bit for you, but really the big concerns are folks who live in this red blinking box. This is where our tornado warning is, and this is where I need you to be safe. I need you to go to your basement. You don't have a basement, go to the most interior part of your home. Stay away from any windows and doors. And just stay safe. This is going to be going until 1:45, and when it finally passes, we'll let you know when you can come out. Right now, at this point, the only warned storm we have is this one over Georgetown and Lanesville, and it is a tornado warning because of some rotation that was indicated on the radar. At this point, we have not gotten any damage reports. We're watching that, and I've got our meteorologist Daniel Johnson standing by, and he's going to be able to tell us. Are you seeing anything? He does. We do. Okay, great. Daniel, what are you seeing?
I think my mic's on. I think we're waiting to get my mic.
Oh, okay. All right, we're going to get him all mic'd up, and I'm going to tell you more about this tornado warning. So if you've just joined us, we had to break into programming because of this tornado warning. The National Weather Service did see a little bit of rotation on the radar, so that triggered the tornado warning, and it is currently over Lanesville and Georgetown. Now it's heading towards Floyd's Knobs and New Albany. If you're just joining us, you're wondering what is going on. If you live in this red blinking box, you need to leave the TV and you need to go down to your basement. If you don't have a basement, go to a bathroom, a windowless area in the most interior of your home, and stay there until 1:45. That is when this warning expires. That's likely when the storm will have passed you by. Now, for folks who live west of Lanesville and Georgetown, at this point, you're just getting soaked. It's some heavy rain, and you're hearing thunder from this parent storm here. It's going to continue to push towards the Knobs here, and eventually it's going to be pushing into Clark County and western Jefferson County. It has not been indicated that they are going to be extending this just yet, but the way the storm is, if the rotation disappears, then likely we're just going to switch it over to a severe thunderstorm warning. But right now, it is a tornado warning, and we're going to stay on with you until 1:45 when this warning expires. Any new messages coming in on the National Weather Service, Daniel?
My mic is still not on.
Still waiting on it. Hey, listen, I got some great news for you, though. Okay, it's weakening. It's weakening, as you can tell, and they just canceled that tornado warning for Floyd, Indiana, and for Harrison and Floyd County. So great news. Love to be able to tell you that. If you are still listening from your phone or listening live online or through the WLKY app, we have good news. The tornado warning has been canceled.
And no damage reports as of now.
No damage,
so.
Nothing is coming in, but listen, still, if you live in Georgetown and Lanesville, I mean, that's pretty scary, and it's probably getting very, very loud over you in Greenville, Floyd's Knobs, and New Albany. And because of the intensity of this storm, we just want to make sure that you are staying safe. You are staying away from windows. If you want to come out of the basement, that is fine, but stay away from windows until this storm is out of here, because there's a lot of lightning, there's a lot of winds that can cause damage to the trees around your house and whatnot. So, but that is some good news, and we're going to continue to watch this line because this is a pretty decent line that's going to be continuing to push through the metro here in short order. Anything you're seeing on the radar, Daniel?
Yeah, so I did just want to step in the green screen really quickly because this line, Mo, you've been tracking it all morning and through the noon show and watching this line track and approach the metro, and that one storm that developed out to the west that just pushed through Harrison County, now it's in Floyd County and pushing into the metro. So that's why we want to stay with you just a little bit longer, even though that tornado warning has expired. It has a history of having some rotation. And Mo mentioned the track of it heading east, and it is about to push right into the metro. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch that includes the entire metro here, and it is very stormy out towards Floyd's Knobs, New Albany. Even here in Louisville, I'm pretty sure you can see that lightning and hear the thunder. The storm moving at around 25 or so miles per hour. So as it does move off to the east, it's going to be approaching the metro very shortly, within a matter of minutes. And if you are watching us, yes, the rotation has weakened a little bit, but I'd still stay in a general safe spot if you can. Maybe stay in your basement, stay into an interior room, get as many walls between you and the outside. Even though that warning has expired, still has a history of some rotation here. So you can see Hamburg 131, Clarksville, it's going to be there at 135, right at the Yum Center at 137. So downtown Louisville is what we're talking about. And these storms are generally weakening, which is fantastic news for everyone. That tornado warning has expired. But again, this storm has a history of some rotation with it. No damage reports coming out. But if we do look at wind velocity, just to check in on where some rotation could possibly be, not too impressive. You can see a little bit near Floyd's Knobs where that red and green touching each other just a little bit. But it's really kind of broadening out and weakening some. But even if there isn't impressive rotation, there's still some very strong winds with it. Wouldn't be surprised if there's 40 to 50 or so mile-per-hour wind gust. We'll see if they'll reissue a severe thunderstorm warning for this as it does roll into the metro. Looks like we do have another severe thunderstorm warning that did just pop up now here for us just south of the metro here. So as you roll just to the east of Brandenburg, that's where that severe thunderstorm warning begins. So if you live anywhere within this orangish yellow polygon here over toward West Point, you're going to want to just pay attention here to the forecast as some strong winds are heading your way, maybe some small hail. So we're looking at some wind gusts possibly within this severe thunderstorm warning upwards of 60 miles per hour. And that can do some damage with straight line winds within thunderstorms as well. So it'll be at West Point at 149 Valley Station right around the same time. So just something to pay attention to in and around the metro across the entire viewing area. We are watching this line of thunderstorm activity that is rolling through the region. Luckily, no tornado warnings in effect at this hour as the stronger rotation we saw earlier continues to weaken. So again, good news. But I would generally stay in a safe spot right now. We will zoom out a little bit to give you a better idea of what's going on. But Mo, you have something else?
Yeah, you want to know what? I just wanted to let you know, this is a slow poke of a storm here, the one that just got warned, and it's got a lot of rain with it, so that could cause some problems if it's moving so slow and just dumping all of that water in one place. This particular warning is going to go until 2 o'clock. This is not a tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's a lot of lightning, a lot of rain, winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, but it, as I said, is a slow mover. So just be ready to deal with a whole lot of rain in a short period of time as it passes towards West Point and by Valley Station here in the next 20-25 minutes. So we're watching this one closely. And as I wanted to show you, just zooming out right now, it looks like the most intense storm is this severe thunderstorm that's warned. And then outside of the metro, this one also is looking a little rough here over New Albany. This is the one that was the tornado warning that eventually got canceled. But kind of zooming out at this point, all of that light yellow, those are the severe thunderstorm watch. Those are the counties in the watch. And then here's this line that has been working its way across the region this afternoon. And the strongest of the storms right now is the one that's warned, moving very slow through parts of southern Jefferson County. And this is going to be expiring by 2 o'clock. So southeastern Harrison County, central Meade, north central Hardin County is part of this current warning. And this storm, no rotation, just some very intense downpours. And as you can see, a whole lot of lightning. Daniel?
Yeah, so Harrison, Meade, Hardin under that severe thunderstorm warning until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And a National Weather Service mentioning we could have some gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. So with severe thunderstorms, that's the main concern. We have the hail criteria. We have winds possibly gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour or higher. This particular storm could go up to 60. So lots of lightning associated with it too. Some dangerous cloud to ground lightning. We're getting reports from emergency management, people out and about today. It is the 4th of July after all. A lot of outdoor activities going on. So we know a lot of people are out at get-togethers, family get-togethers, different types of events going on in the area. And one important rule we always talk about when thunder roars, head indoors, because if you hear thunder, you can get struck by lightning. So that's just one of the hazards we're watching here as this storm continues to move off to the east. Velocity, again, trying to find a little bit of rotation within this storm. Really can't see much of anything in terms of rotation. So again, that is good news in terms of rotation standards and tornado activity. So no tornado warnings in effect, but still with winds possibly gusting through neighborhoods upwards of 60 miles per hour on the 4th of July when a lot of people are out and about. It's really something to really pay close attention to. So those of you in Valley Station, even Pleasure Ridge Park, you're going to likely be clipped by this strong to severe storm here as it continues moving east. And Mo mentioned it is a slow mover right now, but look behind it. We have another thunderstorm getting its act together, heading into the same region. So we're not going to be done with this for a little while. The good news is, and Mo has been following it throughout the day, once this line moves through, the atmosphere should stabilize a little bit, and it looks like we'll dry out just in time for most of those fireworks displays, with maybe hit or miss pop-up storms later on this evening. But overall, here's the general view. One line, kind of an organized line here, that continues to weaken. That's the trend, but there are still some severe warnings being issued here. Again, that Meade, Hardin County right now, and portions of southern Harrison we're watching closely until 2 o'clock. Right in the metro, it's about to get loud with some thunder, lightning, very heavy rain rolling through. Look at the clusters. All the lightning bolts up toward Floyd's Knobs, New Albany, over toward Clarksville. So very impressive storm. It's strong. Nothing severe in the metro, but this storm has a lot of rain associated with it and some gusty winds about to roll through downtown Louisville momentarily, and then eventually it'll push off toward the east end in a matter of half an hour or so. So it's dry for the most part as you head toward eastern sections of Jefferson County, but eventually that will be rolling into that part of the county and that part of the metro as well. So, yep, Links 3. Yeah, if you guys can pop up Links 3, it looks like we might have a camera or traffic. Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at that one. You can see the strong gusty winds that are rolling through. Lots of lightning. You can see that on the camera as well. So always try to rely on these traffic cameras and different types of cameras we have across the area to give us an idea of what's going on. But overall, we have these strong to severe storms rolling through the region. Something just to pay attention to on the 4th of July. These strong storms are definitely going to be packing a bit of a punch for the next hour or so. Then we will begin to trend drier. Mo, do you have any more information? Well, yeah, you know what? It's a big day to be outdoors. So if you are going to be away from your TV, bring your phone with you. Make sure you have the WLKY app on your phone. Have a way to get warnings to you if you are away from the TV. And if you hear thunder, I need you to find somewhere inside. Under a tree, that is not the place to be. You got to go indoors, and if there's no safe shelter for you, find a vehicle and stay there at least 30 minutes until after that last clap of thunder that you hear. So that's what's going on, and we are dealing with multiple thunderstorms moving through the area right now, and we have a severe thunderstorm watch until 7 o'clock this evening, and that is for all of our counties that are in this yellow shade. So that's just something to be watching for. If you have a picnic, if you have some sort of outdoor celebration, and you are part of the severe thunderstorm watch, make sure you have a place to seek shelter. At the moment, we have some thunderstorms that are definitely loud going through New Albany right now. This is part of the storm that was originally warned as a tornado, and then it was canceled. But as you can see, we're in a very densely populated area, and this line of storms is going to be crossing over the river here into Jefferson County here in short order. So folks, if you are going to be heading outdoors, again, make sure that you have a place to go in case you get one of these storms. Currently, the only warned storm is this one right here, and it is slow. It has barely moved. It's moving about 10 miles per hour off to the east, and it's carrying a lot of water. It's going to be pushing into West Point and now in Valley Station, and then probably crossing over into Jefferson County here in just a minute. At this point, it doesn't seem that they have extended the warning, but the storm is continuing off to the east into southern Jefferson County. So we're monitoring this one closely. Notice a lot of lightning and torrential downpours with this storm.
And those winds, if you're driving in it, as you can, you saw on our, just the one of the cameras was showing how it was just moving the cameras around, shaking it like crazy. So you don't want to be out in this. You don't want to be driving. You definitely don't want to be out outside of if you're at a picnic. You need to make sure you have a safe place to go. This line is going to be moving through over the next couple of hours, and as Daniel mentioned, we're going to get a nice little break. We should stabilize the atmosphere and get some dry time, but it will be still very warm and muggy today. All right, Daniel, are you seeing anything else right now?
Well, Mo, I'm glad you mentioned the rainfall potential and how slow the storm is moving, because we had just some flash flood warnings just the other day in Louisville. So still a bit of a saturated ground here, even though we're in a pretty dry pattern as of late. But any really heavy downpours can put down some flooding issues. So some streams can go over their banks. We can watch some roadways with ponding as well. So you're going to really need to slow down if you're hitting the roads. And Mo's putting up some of the rainfall totals here in just the last hour. And in Georgetown, we're getting close to an inch of rain, ½ inch to an inch, and all falling within an hour. That is pretty excessive here. And once it gets up to that inch or higher, some flooding, definitely a concern and something that we'll be watching closely. The one down toward Meade County, Hardin County, Breckenridge County, that severe thunderstorm warning with gusts to 60. Again, rainfall is a hazard as well. We're getting up to, again, close to an inch in some areas just north of Brandenburg. So all hazards really possible. That tornado threat, though, really diminishing. That was kind of a pop-up type of event that happened earlier in just to the north in Harrison County. But overall, rainfall, I mean, if this storm just sat here for the next hour, we'd be getting 6 inches of rain. Now, that's not going to happen. We're going to get a lot of rain here, but the storm is slowly moving off to the east. But the rain is so heavy, it's falling at a 6-inch-hour rainfall rate. So that is impressive. So we got rain. We got possible hail within some of these. Most of it's small hail. We're not getting too many strong indications of that. Rotation in terms of a possible tornado is really diminishing, so that concern is going away. But lightning also a threat, and the strong winds. Look at this heavy rain falling at 7 inches per hour, 6 inches per hour near New Albany. You can really hear the thunder here outside our studio. So dangerous cloud to ground lightning and very heavy rain, torrential rainfall. We have so much humidity in the atmosphere. It's kind of like you're wringing out a sponge in that atmosphere, and just all that heavy rain falls at a quick rate. So definitely a system we're watching closely. You can see the line spreads all the way to the northeast toward Madison as well, through the metro and down to the south and west toward Hardinsburg as well. So an organized line that does continue to weaken. I also chimed in with the National Weather Service, and they said the Crescent Hill area of Louisville, they have an art festival going on, and a lot of people there are heeding the warnings. A lot of people taking shelter in Louisville right now. So that's good to hear that people are listening to the warnings and taking shelter. And it's hard to do sometimes when you're out in the open, but you definitely want to get to a safe spot and inside a sturdy structure. But there it is, strong storm in Louisville, severe thunderstorm warning down in Meade, Breckenridge, and Hardin County. So if you're watching us within that yellow polygon, definitely take and watch as that storm rolls through, with winds possibly up to 60 miles per hour. The metro, nothing severe right now, just very heavy rainfall right now, and a lot of lightning and thunder here on the 4th of July. But as Mo mentioned, the storm system should begin to roll off, and it will be doing that as we head through the rest of today. The rain starting to taper down a little bit in Floyd's Knobs, Georgetown, Greenville, but New Albany starting to see some lighter rain. Heaviest of the rain now in downtown Louisville, eventually moving off to the east in a matter of just a half hour or so. It will be on the east end here. These storms will likely continue to weaken as they move off to the east. That doesn't mean we won't have any more severe thunderstorm warnings, but rainfall definitely becoming a concern right now, with torrential amounts of rain falling.
Yikes.
Yeah, anywhere between 6 and 7 inches per hour.
And you know what, the one that in the Warren storm, that is moving so slow. It's 10 miles per hour. At least some of the storms that are over the metro are moving a little bit faster, but they're still putting down a whole lot of rain. 7 1.5 inches per hour. Yeah, we want to get these out of here as fast as possible. Now, the winds are gusting about 40 miles per hour in this particular storm, the one that's downtown, and it's crossing over into Clark County up towards Charlestown. I took the lightning off just because there's so much of it. You could barely see the actual towns on the map. But yeah, there's a lot of lightning, some cloud to ground lightning, and the winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Not seeing a lot of hail in this, but the downpours are just torrential. Now, at this point, this warning that's blinking here, this is going to be going until 2 o'clock. And just watching the storm, it is moving very, very slow. This could end up triggering a flash flood warning, Daniel,
yeah,
if it continues and it doesn't speed up. Because look at all of that water. Look at that, the reds, the oranges, the deep purples. You hate to see that. And this is going to be heading towards Valley Station. It's actually in and over Valley Station right now, and that will continue to progress off to the east towards Fairdale and Okolona here probably in the next hour or so. But our only warned storm at the moment that is happening right now over just west or east of Brandenburg in parts of southern Harrison County, not in Jefferson County right now. It is just right on the line at this point for southern Jefferson County, also encompassing part of Meade County and parts of Hardin County. So we're going to continue to watch this carefully. No tornadoes, though, right now. Daniel, what do you
Yeah, and I think we do have another camera, if we don't mind popping that up in the control room, just to go to show you how heavy the rain is coming. We have a wiper that's going by to try to clean it for everybody to look at, but you can just see downtown Louisville there in the distance. Hard to see the city with the heavy rain there falling, but yeah, this is our tower camera here on top of our WLKY studios, zooming in and looking at downtown Louisville. Hard to see there in the distance. So a lot of storminess this afternoon, and we are watching it here for you. We're watching it closely. Right now, just one severe thunderstorm warning in effect. No more tornado warnings in effect. So we're hoping that that one severe thunderstorm warning will expire shortly. It will likely expire at right around 2 o'clock. So you can definitely see some Trimark cameras as well, showing how wet the roads are. There's another camera here in downtown Louisville, the Sheraton camera aimed at Louisville, and you can just see the heavy rain. Just so many cameras showing great views across the region. So heavy rain, a big concern. Gusty winds, a concern as well. There's the severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all those counties in yellow until 7 o'clock this evening, and then eventually that will expire. So
and it's a big day. It's
yeah,
a big day. Folks want to be out. They want to be celebrating. And it's very important that you pay attention to the skies. When you hear that thunder roar, you need to head indoors. And that doesn't mean heading under a tree. You need a real shelter. If you don't have a house to run into, a car will have to do, and you need to stay there at least 30 minutes until after that last clap of thunder. Believe it or not, you can get struck by lightning from a parent storm from 10, 20, 30 miles away. It is so incredibly dangerous to be outside. That's why if you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. And there is a whole lot of lightning in these storms. I mean, just take a look. We had to take the lightning off of some of these just because you couldn't even see the towns underneath it. Take a look at what's going on over Indian Hills. This is over Sellersburg. All of this lightning, some of it cloud to ground. That's incredibly dangerous. And it's going to be heading towards Prospect here in short order. Zooming out a little bit, this is all part of the line that is continuing to push through the region this afternoon. And that's also where that thunderstorm watch is. So that all makes sense. The good news is we don't have anything with rotation right now, so no more tornado warnings, and I'm glad that they were able to cancel that. But the storms, they are still present, and the one that's being warned is a very slow mover. It is putting down a lot of water in a very short period of time, and it's continuing to push into southern Jefferson County. The most intense part of this, though, looks like on the northern parts, or excuse me, southern Harrison County, but just north of West Point right now. Winds 40, 50 miles per hour outside of the warned storm, but we did have some winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, which is why I think it triggered that warning. Daniel, are you seeing anything?
Yeah, I'm glad you popped up velocity here because we're tracking whether or not there's any rotation. We're trying to find some rotation within these storms, and the good news is we're not seeing much of any rotation, but we are seeing strong winds. You can see near West Point some of the brightest greens showing up here. That's where some of the strongest winds are at the moment, and these winds will be gusting probably anywhere between 40 and perhaps upwards of 60 miles per hour with this severe thunderstorm warning that is pushing off to the east. And it's a slow mover, so it's producing strong winds, those gusty winds, but also producing the really heavy rainfall at this hour. And the reason we're staying on with you guys is because we're having these strong storms that are rolling through the metro, rolling through high populated areas, and these storms have had a history of a little bit of rotation through the day earlier today. So we're in a type of pattern where if you get just a little bit of rotation, so much humidity, almost a tropical air mass across our area, you can get these really quick spin-up tornadoes that stay on the ground briefly but can do some possible damage. So that's just something we're watching closely. We want to stick with radar until we're pretty confident that that threat is gone. But there's that one severe thunderstorm warning in effect here until 2 o'clock. So still have another 15 minutes or so, and we'll watch to see if that expires early or if they hold on to it, or even if they expand it farther off to the east toward Bullitt County, maybe even southern Jefferson. So those of you in Valley Station, heads up, that severe thunderstorm warning is heading your direction. Immediately in downtown Louisville, just some heavy rain and a lot of lightning up toward Linden, Crestwood. You're getting in on some of the action right now. Very heavy downpour and lots of lightning within that storm as well. So it's not just the organized line. We have these little heavy pop-up storms that are kind of being pushed out ahead of the line as well. St. Matthews up toward Prospect, Utica getting hit hard with some very heavy rain here. Again, this is not a severe thunderstorm warning in Louisville and in Jefferson County itself, but it is a strong storm with winds upwards of 40 miles per hour, torrential rain, dangerous cloud to ground lightning. Good news is we're not seeing much in the way of any hail, as Mo mentioned earlier. But man, yeah, if these storms slow down anymore, I would not be surprised if we do see some flash flood warnings popping up. So if anyone's out and about, you're going to want to drive slowly, pay attention to the roads, see if there's any ponding, never cross a flooded roadway. Some streams might start overflowing their banks. The main concern, since we've been so dry lately, is just that flooding on streets and ponding that could cause some accidents and problems as well. But all the purple, yeah, that is the intense rainfall rates across the entire area as this line rolls through. So impressive rainfall totals in just the last hour as these storms slowly drift off to the east, getting very close to an inch in a lot of locations at this hour, just north and east of Brandenburg here in northeastern Meade County, pushing into southern Harrison County. We have a lot of heavy rain. And for those of you in Georgetown and Lanesville, you had about ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain with that really strong storm that moved through. So heavy rainfall rates, Mo, it's definitely one of those concerns, one of the hazards that could be causing some issues on this 4th of July.
That's right. And with these heavy rainfall rates, and you mentioned you had to be careful driving anywhere at this point. And I know there's a lot of plans in play for it today. So wherever you are going to be driving, make sure that you're not driving any flooded roadways, because it is easy for that to happen, especially with the torrential downpours. Look at all of these reds and yellows that we are seeing on our radar. This is just intense downpours, cats and dogs just over Valley Station right now. Now look at Linden and Barbermead and Prospect. This is moving still pretty slow. It's not as bad as the warned storm, but it is taking its time to get through eastern Jefferson County as it heads towards Oldham County, and that's a whole lot of rain. And also I took the lightning off just so you could see the names of the towns, but look at that. That's a lot of lightning, so you should not be outdoors. This isn't a tornado warning, but it's better that you stay inside and away from windows and doors. You just want to stay safe just because some of these winds are gusting over 40 miles per hour, and with super waterlogged ground, you know, things can get knocked over, trees can get knocked over, and they could easily get into your home. So just stay away from windows and stay safe. Right now, our only warned storm is this guy right here, now pushing moving into Valley Station, even though we're not warned in Jefferson County. This is in southern Harrison County, part of Meade County, as well as parts of Hardin County. So this is a very intense storm, very slow moving storm with lots of water. It's moving about 10 miles per hour directly to the east. At this point, it doesn't look like the National Weather Service has mentioned anything about extending this warning into Jefferson County. We are watching the storm continuing to progress into southern Jefferson County. So it's over West Point right now and Valley Station, but just some very heavy downpours at the center of this storm. There's another one just to the south and west, just south of Brandenburg. I think that's maybe why they extended it to so far south, such a large box. I think it's because of this storm right here that's going to be pushing off to the east. Right now, the most intense part of this line is right here, just north of West Point. So we're going to keep our eyes on this. We're going to stay on until 2. That's when this warning will expire. So we just want to stay with you and make sure that you are remaining safe. Zooming out, taking a look at this line, it is a very extensive line. The good news is it's weakened quite a bit over Hardinsburg. It's still loud. You're getting that lightning and some heavy downpours, but we're seeing less red and purple and more greens and yellows. But it's still very intense in southern Jefferson, or just outside of Jefferson County. All of this red here, that's very, very heavy downpours with that lightning. Rainfall rates are incredibly high. No hail, though. This is just a heavy rainmaker, and also we're seeing a lot of lightning, cloud to ground lightning, which is incredibly dangerous. And the rainfall rates can also be a problem too, because these are moving so slow. Take a look at how much rain is falling. If this were to just stay in that spot for an hour, you'd be picking up almost 6.5 inches just east of or west of Valley Station. So we got to get these storms moving. But at this point, we're going to be warning or staying with this warning until 2 o'clock when it does expire. So let's be safe. No tornado warnings if you've just joined us. What we are watching right now is this yellow blinking box. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. Everything else, you see those shades of yellow on the screen? Those are the counties that are warned for, for a watch, for a severe thunderstorm watch. This is going to continue until 7 o'clock. The storm that we are watching, that is a severe thunderstorm warned storm, and that will go until 2 o'clock. We got about 9 more minutes on this thing, and hopefully they aren't going to extend it into Jefferson County. Hopefully it will continue to weaken. One other storm I have my eye on, Daniel, I don't know if you're keeping an eye on this one as well, but take a look over Linden, Barbermead, Prospect. This beast, look at all of the lightning, the heavy downpours, a lot of rain here. So we don't have any flooding just yet. We don't have any word coming in of damage, but we're watching for that closely. Daniel, have you seen anything on the chats popping up about any flooding, flooded roadways, or any damage from some of these storms?
So we are getting some unconfirmed reports that some trees have been knocked down, and there are some power outages in the Louisville area. So in Louisville itself, some roadway or some trees that have been blown over. So I can imagine we're probably going to have a few power outages as these storms roll through, because they have some very strong wind gusts associated with them. And even though you can see over toward Crestwood, Linden, and that's the one Mo was mentioning that we're watching closely here, with lots of lightning, heavy rain, and this also has some gusty winds associated, but nothing severe in Louisville itself. And the one severe thunderstorm warning we're still keeping a close eye on. The good news is, Mo, I watched, and it is tracking a little bit faster, but still around 10 to 15 miles per hour. So if we want to put one more track on, just to give people an idea as to where this one severe thunderstorm warning is potentially going over the next half hour or so, just let people know a good idea here. So Valley Station, of course, is the one we've been watching right around 2:01 is when it's really going to roll through. I mean, you're probably watching and saying, what are you talking about? It's storming now. Yes, but the severe part of the storm is still a little bit off to the west. That's where the strongest of the winds are. It's still storming in Valley Station right now with torrential rainfall. But yeah, this storm is packing a punch here, and you can see cities off down to the south as well, right on the border here, watching this storm between Meade County and Breckenridge County. This storm system is packing a punch. Bullitt County eventually heading right toward you. It's already storming in portions of western and northern portions of Bullitt County. And we're going to wait to see if the National Weather Service does extend this warning here that's supposed to expire at 2 o'clock. To me, the winds aren't looking as impressive as they were earlier, so fingers crossed that they'll let it expire. It's going to be in the Shepherdsville area at around 2:19 this afternoon. And once this line slides off to the east, we should have several hours and times of dry period, which is good news for anyone that might have some outdoor plans. And hopefully we'll trend drier, which is the forecast as we get closer to fireworks time. Of course, we're going to stay with you here for this warning until it expires, and just to let everyone know that we're in the clear once we know for sure. And of course, we'll be back on at 5 and 6 for your newscast tonight with more of an updated forecast. So right now, severe thunderstorm watch still in effect for a good portion of the area. That includes the Louisville Metro. As these storms continue to move off to the east, they're going to be causing some issues across the region. It's an important day today, of course. A lot of people out celebrating as well. So lots of rain, lots of thunder, lightning, and we have some really strong winds associated with some of these as well. Mo?
All right, Daniel, and we have Suzanne Horgan, our meteorologist. She is standing off sides right now. What are you seeing with these storms?
I think what we're seeing right now, Mo, is really a very heavy rain threat for the metro. That's what we're picking up. This is in the Douglas Hills area. This is in Anchorage, Middletown, Rolling Hills. Take you into Oldham County, Crestwood, Pewee Valley. You are seeing torrential downpours. This is moving right along I-71. So this is what it looks like, 71 at the Crestwood exit. And you can see, let's switch over to Links 3 if we could, and talk a little bit more about what we're seeing in the metro with some pockets of very heavy rainfall. So again, this is 71 right into Oldham County, where we're seeing very heavy rainfall ponding on the roadways. As we take you in a little bit closer, so eastern Jefferson County, a ton of lightning here into the Anchorage area, Middletown, and that's tracking off into areas of Shelby County as well as into portions of Oldham County. Now into Valley Station, PRP, Minor Lane Heights for our friends in Fairdale. You are getting hammered with heavy rainfall, a tremendous amount of lightning for you as well. No warnings in the metro right now, but certainly we're watching this one closely for you with torrential downpours pushing through Okolona. You can see into Valley Station as well as into areas of Medora, right near Fishtown, crossing over from portions of southern Indiana. The only warning that we have is this one right here, and this just kind of brushes up against the metro. But the bottom line is, just because we don't have a warning doesn't mean that the weather is not significant to you, because it is pouring. Obviously, we have a ton of outdoor activities going on, and we're going to be watching this closely. But the bottom line is, I think for the metro, we're looking at that heavy rain threat with pouring rain across portions of St. Matthews. So this is going to take you right through areas of Strathmore Gardens, Bon Air Estates, moving into the St. Regis Park area as well as into portions of Hurstbourne. For our friends in West Butyl, you're seeing very heavy rainfall as well as into portions of Watterson Park, moving right through areas of Newburgh, also right into the Smyrna area along Gene Snyder and 65 right by the airport. Let's go ahead and take just kind of a live look at what's going on with some of our Trimark traffic cameras. And you can see, doesn't look terrible here, just some heavy rainfall. The bottom line is you can even see a little bit of sunshine right here from our tower camera as we're taking a look over the downtown city skyline. The bulk of the activity, you'll notice, is certainly moving through, and we give you kind of a big picture here. This is this one line of shower and thunderstorm activity that we're seeing moving across areas of Breckenridge County, through areas of southern Meade County, moving into northern Hardin County, through portions of Bullitt County, and also, of course, into the metro. We're seeing tremendous amount of lightning, lots of heavy rainfall. So certainly across areas of PRP, Valley Station, you can see all of those lightning strikes continuing to move on through. No warnings in the metro right now. Let's go ahead and paint on some of those warnings to give you some perspective. And you'll notice this is the only warning that we currently have in town, and that will expire at 2 o'clock. That only includes Harrison County at this point and into portions of Bullitt County as well. You know, Mo was mentioning the heavy rain threat, and certainly we have seen a tremendous amount of heavy rainfall. Let's take a look at our rainfall over the past just hour. When we do a bit of a sampling here, you'll notice we have certainly seen quite a bit of heavy rainfall on the order of an inch or more in some locations. Keep in mind that this rain is falling already on an already saturated ground in many locations. So let's go ahead and track a few of these areas where we're picking up some of that heavy rainfall and some gusty winds into Glen Mary, Elk Creek in about 28 minutes, near Long Run in about 29 minutes. This storm that's just outside of Hillview is going to be pushing into Hillview in 12 minutes, right near Pioneer Village in about 13 minutes, and over near Highview in about 25 minutes. So we'll be watching for the threat of some very heavy rainfall and lots of gusty winds, potentially with some of those storms moving through the region. So you'll notice right here, not picking up a ton of wind energy at this point, but again, possibly some very heavy rainfall and some heavy downpours. And sometimes, Mo and Daniel, as you know, when you get that heavy rainfall, it can help to pull down some of those gusty winds as well. But at this point, we're just watching for that line of shower and thunderstorm activity continuing to bring torrential downpours to sections of the metro. It is a very noisy afternoon. We're going to call it Mother Nature's fireworks at this point, because certainly we're seeing some very heavy rainfall.
I like that.
I was waiting to see which one of us was going to mention that.
The Mother Nature's fireworks.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had to cancel so many events all across the region, and obviously safety is the #1 priority with so many of these celebrations that we have going on. A number of them have been canceled, and obviously it's very hard when you have outdoor events because you have people with very few places to go, with the exception, of course, of their cars. And Mo, we were talking about some storm safety. It's not safe to be standing under a tree, which is where a lot of people tend to go because they want to be blocked from the rain, but that actually puts you right in the line of fire for a lightning strike.
That's right. We are not going under trees to seek shelter. Go into a car. Go into a house first. If you have no shelter, a car is going to have to do. And this storm system, this has postponed the waterfront park celebration until 6, so they had to push it back because of these storms. Yeah, it's better to have everyone at home until these storms pass, and then you can come out to the waterfront, which is going to be very soggy, I assume. Listen, the storm safety, though, just kind of reiterating at this point, trying to drive it home. If you are outdoors today, it is not safe to be outside if you see a storm. So head indoors or find a car and stay there till about 30 minutes until after that last clap of thunder, because you can get, if you hear thunder, you can get struck by lightning. It is close enough to you, even though it might seem really far away. That lightning can travel, and it can travel fast. So we need you to be super safe today. Good news is they have expired that warning that was our severe thunderstorm warning. So that is now off the books, but we still have a whole bunch of rain. This whole system, we got this line that's going to be pushing across the region today. So we're going to continue to monitor this closely. At this point, it's just heavy rain, a lot of lightning. There's no hail. We don't have any rotation, but slow-moving storms putting down a lot of water in a short period of time.
And you know, Mo, I'm watching, we might be seeing some stronger winds moving across areas of Vine Grove into the Radcliffe area, perhaps heading into portions of Rhineyville. We're just getting a few little pixels that are showing up. Let's switch over to Lynx 3 if we could, and we'll show you that as we kind of examine the radar a little bit for you. And you can see with some of these little pixels here, every once in a while we're picking up a gust of wind that looks a little bit stronger. So maybe even just a touch of rotation. It's not unusual to see some rotation and stronger thunderstorms, but getting a little bit of a sample of some stronger wind gusts as well. And I do think that's important to note, kind of on the leading edge of some of those storms moving through. And that does match up with some of those storms moving across portions of Radcliffe and into portions of Vine Grove as well. So we don't want to necessarily let down our guard in those areas, because you'll most likely be seeing some gusty winds passing through. And of course, perhaps some stronger wind gusts every once in a while with some of the heavier rainfall that's pushing through portions of the metro. As we take a look, it's not overly strong, it doesn't look like. I think it's probably more of a rain threat in the metro, and most likely a very noisy threat for you, as you can see lots of that heavy rainfall moving across portions. But as far as the wind, I think we're seeing the strongest wind probably right along that line, moving into the Shepherdsville area and then into portions of Radcliffe and Vine Grove as well.
All right, Daniel, are you seeing anything in particular we should just keep our eyes on? Because if not, I think we could possibly go back to programming. Right now, I'm just seeing a lot of rain and lightning, and as Suzanne mentioned, some gusty winds.
Yeah, just one last look at radar and we'll get back to programming. The National Weather Service has let all the severe thunderstorm warnings, the tornado warning expire. So no more warnings, but there are still some gusty, strong storms here. So even though there's no warnings, you need to keep an eye on this, especially Jefferson County really getting hit right now. The National Weather Service, I did want to note, remember, there was a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Meade, Breckenridge, and Hardin County. Now they've issued a special weather statement, not a severe thunderstorm warning, just a special weather statement for Bullitt County to just let people know that the storm is sub-severe, so it's not severe, but there are still some very strong wind gusts associated with it, and those gusts are likely heading towards Shepherdsville right now. So just a heads up there in Bullitt County, and even northern Hardin County will get clipped with this. So good part of the area still dealing with some thunderstorm activity on the 4th of July. Nothing is severe at the moment. So I believe if you guys don't have anything else, we can go back to regularly program on this 4th of July.
As Anakin Skywalker. And the funny thing is like when he came into the world, he was just 6 weeks old, and I debuted